Of course, the entire sports world and well beyond has spent so much of this week trying to process all that we've seen involving the now late and great Kobe Bryant and the helicopter accident that killed him and 8 others on Sunday. And last night in the NBA, there were any number of events that took place, including in Philadelphia, the city in which Kobe Bryant spent so much of his youth. They paid tribute to Kobe last night. The Sixers and Warriors wearing his numbers 8 and 24 uniforms in a pregame moment of silence, while his Lower Merion High School number 33 was spotlighted on the floor. And the Philly crowd was able to witness Kobe's last introduction into the arena one more time.
A 6'6" guard from Lower Merion High School, where he won the title in 1996. Number 24, Kobe Bryant.
Joel Embiid wore Kobe's number 24 during the game as both the Sixers and Warriors paid tribute with an 8-second and 24-second violation in his memory, and Embiid was among those to reflect on the impact Kobe had on his life.
You know my story. I started playing the game, and when I did, back in 2010, watching the finals, that was the turning point of my life. Watching Kobe. After watching, I just wanted to be like him. I just wanted to play basketball. I don't think if it wasn't for, that moment, I don't think I would have been here.
The amount of impact that he had on all of us, it's hard to keep going right now. But as a basketball community, as the world as a whole, I know we're all just mourning and sticking together when it comes to this. Kobe Bryant was just a joy to be around. It was just, you display every emotion when you're around him. As a competitor, you hated playing against him. As somebody that admired him, you just loved being in his presence. It was just one of those things. As a young hooper, he meant the world to us.
LeBron James made his first public appearance yesterday, arriving to watch his son's Sierra Canyon team cheering from the sideline as both teams in that game honored Kobe with the 8 and 24-second violations. Earlier in the day, he and his teammates, LeBron and the Lakers, gathered for the first time and shared stories about Bryant. Their next game will be Friday night at home. We will have that game on ESPN, and I wanted to give our football guys, many of whom at least really idolized Kobe, a chance to comment on this, and Jalen has come down here this morning as well, and we so appreciate that. And Jalen, you mentioned earlier this morning how proud you are of the league and the way they have gathered together, come together to honor one of their all-time greats.
Absolutely. This is a loss for humanity, and I know that Kobe Bryant's one of the best basketball players to ever do it, but he transcended sports, and unfortunately, it took his untimely death for us to really recognize that he's this era's version of Michael Jordan. And when you talk about all of the, and I want to make sure I stress this, all of the cliches that we use in sports actually apply to Kobe. That's why we love him. Yeah. Kobe wasn't the kind of guy that fraternized with opponents. Sometimes he didn't get along with his own teammates. He was a guy that worked so very hard and was so very tireless at the game of basketball. At such a young age, we got a chance to watch him grow and see him mature on and off the floor. And for him to retire and just not even watch the NBA. And then all of a sudden his daughter Gigi, who was on the plane with him, fall in love with the game. Then he started back watching the NBA and going to WNBA games and coaching her and supporting the league. And for it to go down like that, it's just really tragic. And I really appreciate the way the league continues to find a way to celebrate his greatness.
Dan, this affected you deeply. Kobe's somebody that you've admired your entire life.
Yeah, Kobe's my second favorite athlete of all time behind Tiger Woods, strictly because of the mindset, strictly because of the dog mindset that he had. But, I think, speaking from someone like this will resonate with people at home watching. So great athletically, like we admire and idolize them because we can't see ourselves doing what they do. I can't see myself competing the way Kobe competed. I'd want to, but I can't. He can athletically do things I can't do. And so that's why we idolized great athletes, because we can't see ourselves doing the things that they do. We're not on the same level as them. And then I think what made it so hard and kind of what's come out on Sunday is Kobe was like all of us. Kobe was a husband like so many of us are, a parent like so many of us are. And to go from the level of not being able to be on their level to all of a sudden everything that has come out and the stories that have come out about Kobe the person, it forces us emotionally to realize Kobe was one of us. And that's the hardest part, you know, is understanding that, like, Kobe was doing something that, and being somebody that we are every single day. And we've never experienced that when it comes to, you know, athletic greats.
Coming from the community I've come from, and I don't think anyone has talked about the fact that it's black fathers are kind of seen sometimes as not being present in their kids' lives. And I'm more focused on Kobe Bryant, the father, than the basketball player. We have everything he was able to give to the game. We got highlights we can run all the time. ESPN has done a tremendous job continuously showing what Kobe Bryant was as a player. But to see him embrace fatherhood, where we all are now, daughters that play sports. I was actually at my 6-year-old basketball game when the news broke. So there was a lot of things to their point that you relate to. You can't relate to Kobe Bryant, the athlete.
Right.
That's not why people are hurting. People aren't hurting because we lost a basketball legend. They're hurting because we saw this person go through these levels and degrees of maturity, but we also saw this person embrace what we all kind of can relate to in fatherhood. Gee, I don't know if you remember this. A year ago, I sent you a text message. I said, man, it's amazing to see how you spend time with your family as much as you work. I had a crazy year of traveling this year for this job. And to know that Kobe took a helicopter to spend more time with his kids. He traveled around the country to take Gigi to games to spend more time with his daughters. My wife and I have had tremendous amount of conversations about how can we get the time. And for people that's mourning Kobe like we all should be, in 41 years, you just better make sure if you live to 100 that you do as much as he was able to do in his lifetime.
That's beautifully said. There's so much to this, and we'll continue to talk about it. Look, sometimes I think it's just cathartic to say the things that are on your mind as we do. In the meantime, we're in Miami. We'll continue to cover